coming to speak to their basketball team, all of a sudden we started to get from the organizations, Hillel, the Christian organization, the different organizations on campus, that I should come to speak to their groups as well. So if you can't get in the front door, you shouldn't be discouraged. There's always another door that you can get in when you're doing public diplomacy. But when you said that we went to an African-American school, and I feel very comfortable because from Trenton and from University of Illinois, I basically played with a lot of African-American players, all through high school, through all my life. So I don't feel uncomfortable. And when I spoke, to these guys in Philadelphia, each place when I'm speaking through the States, I always try to go through an African-American community because basically they were hijacked. Black Lives Matters were hijacked by various Palestinian and Muslim organizations, and to try to pull them in like they're together. And they don't realize the Jewish community and Israel was so apart during supporting the Martin Luther King movement. So I always speak to him, and I mentioned that Martin Luther King, the Jr.'s son, came to Israel for a fellow called Shulam Riklis's 93rd birthday. And I said that, that there are 3 reasons. When I asked him, why did you come to Israel for his birthday? He says that because the Jews and Martin Luther friend, Meshulam Riklis, during the days of trying to break segregation in the 60s, this Israeli Jewish guy helped him 3 things. 1, he bailed him out of jail twice. 2, he supported the movement. And the 3rd thing, that he was the holding company of 1,500 stores in the South, McClory's or McCory's department stores. They're like Target, something like that, or Five and Dime or Walmart. And he gave the order that their little restaurants, what they have in those department stores, will all from now on be segregated. So that's why Martin Luther King III came to Israel. Now, what's happening in the States as far as anti-Semitism and everything, many of the people in the Black community, they don't realize how important the Jewish community was in breaking segregation, and how supportive Martin Luther King himself was from Israel. And so I'm speaking, I always make sure that this is one of the points. And outside of that, there's a fella, Dave Goldstein from Canada. He wrote a book about 800 African-American basketball players that have played in the Israeli Basketball League and are still playing. And these guys love Israel. 800 basketball players that in that book are telling about their experiences and why they preferred, in place of getting more money playing in Europe, that they prefer to play in Israel because they have a life here before and after the basketball court. And this is what the world has to know, and it doesn't know. And so even at the NBA All-Star Weekend, so I'm coming into the United States. I was in Chicago. Luckily, I got back to Israel before they start putting people into quarantine. It was in February. And I'm going by and I'm hearing, Mashlomcha Tal, in Hebrew, and it's unbelievable. So many players, African-American players, have played here and have been instrumental. And some even married Israelis and are still living here. But this they don't know in the States. And it's something I think that has to be told, because it's just that there's no reason that Black Lives Matter have to be infiltrated against our people that are, trying to BDS us and anti-Semitism or whatnot. Anyway, that's Philadelphia, Lou. That's it.
You are such a hero in so many different ways. And again, it's a pleasure and honor to be a friend and to work with you and know that, again, you come from a sports background and you've expanded that with your humanity to be such a leader for Israel that every school child in Israel knows and respects, Anachnu ala mapa, and we're on the map, and we're on the map to stay.
There's one thing I regret, Lou, about the Trenton. Every time that I had to go to, every Sunday we had Hebrew school, you know, you learned Hebrew. I always regret I used to run away from the school and I never learned Hebrew until I came to Israel. That's why my Hebrew is so bad, you know.
Just to close, and I want to respect people's times. Tal, is there any special project you're working on after your movie on the map? Any special project?
It's amazing that this movie, you know, it's a story from 1977 about our team. But would you believe in Sao Paulo, Brazil, in China, in Mexico City, that this movie 3 years is still in demand? I can't believe it. You know, even when the first Hebrew version came out, I always tried to sit in the back. I saw the movie, I think it was close to 70 times. Now it's on Amazon Prime for, I think Nancy Spielberg is one of the producers. And it's amazing how people love this story, how a basketball team could influence an entire nation. You know, so it's amazing. Like I said, for me, it's been a tremendous journey. I love my life here in Israel. I'm very proud to be an Israeli, you know, and I see my children and my grandchildren. They're not being raised to hate, you know, our enemies, you know, and it's a shame that our enemies they're trained to hate us, but you know, this is our life, but we handle it well. Thanks to people, you know, like Neve and Sigal and Netta, that everybody does their part, you know, and so we all fit into a puzzle. And you know, if everybody, we have so many different, you know, charitable organizations in Israel, but it's like, that's our society. That's why we're able to survive this coronavirus, because the people are disciplined. Let's say it's not 100%, but let's say the majority of the people follow when the government says like they did. It doesn't matter whether you're on the left or whether you're on the right or whether you're Arabic or whether you're, it doesn't matter who you are. You try to follow the rules. And the ones that didn't follow the rules got infected, the majority. And the majority that got infected are living in communities which didn't follow the rules. That's all.
Well, again, Tal, I want to thank you for your leadership, for your heroism. Niv, your heroism. Sigal, being an amazing wife and mother, your heroism. And again, for that beautiful smile that you have. And Netta, for your smile and you being the future of Israel. You've done work for IDF. You're still there, plugging away for us. And as I mentioned with my other hat, leadership programs with young adults, we look to you for that leadership as well. I thank you all for being on this. Again, if anyone has any questions, they can call, text, email me. You can go to afkmc.org to find out more about what we're doing. And we're at service to you, and we're appreciative that all of you have joined us. I thank you very much, and say good evening in Israel. Good day to all the rest of us here. Toda rabah.
Bye-bye.